Hello everybody, this is Mr. Rob and welcome back to another episode of the Los Angeles Clippers MyNBA series here on NBA 2K24, where we're back at the Intuit Dome as the Los Angeles Clippers play host to the Milwaukee Bucks, a nationally televised game, our first of the season for your LA Clippers. So we'll see how they do as they're looking to end what was not a good road stretch. They had a Eastern Conference road trip last episode where they lost 4 of 5 games. So they've now dropped to 18-22, and they're looking to get back in the win column against the 23-17 Milwaukee Bucks, who are currently the 7th best team in the Eastern Conference. So despite having a pretty solid record, it's a pretty loaded Eastern Conference. We'll always sit at the bottom, actually in the 10th spot in the West. So we're trying to continue our playoff chances. Big excited for this one. Make sure you drop a like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more basketball content, as we are underway here in the Intuit Dome on national TV as the Bucks win the tip-off. And on the very first possession, will spin off of Leonard and score at the basket as Giannis Antetokounmpo, averaging 24.5 points per game this year, gets it started. Your home team, the Clippers, are wearing the whites, while the Bucks, they're using their throwback uniforms, a little bit of a nod to their early 2000, late 90s look with the purple road uniforms, as Paul George will get the points started for the Clippers. He's averaging 28 points per game at home and 6.1 rebounds. A solid record for him, but there's Giannis quickly. Answers right back. The two-time NBA MVP, wasting no time, putting himself firmly in this game, making his presence felt. He will draw Kawhi Leonard for most of the game, so it's very tough matchup, a key matchup in this game, as there's a nice pick and roll for the Clippers as Ivica Zubac will finish at the basket. Clippers are coming off of a Eastern Conference road trip, like we mentioned, where they lost 4 of 5. Their only win against the Toronto Raptors, which is not one of the best teams in the league. While the Bucks, they finished last year 35-47. They're coming off of a win, though, against the Denver Nuggets, where you can see Giannis put up 30 points. So Milwaukee trying to get back to the postseason after missing it last year, as there's a foul called, and Paul George go to the line for the first free throws of the game, averaging 25 points per game overall. So a little bit better here at home in the Intuit Dome than on the road, as he makes both of his free throws, and he's got an early 5 for LAC. Bucks are facing a couple injuries in tonight's game. No Drew Holiday or Chris Middleton. Holiday out with a torn left hand ligament, while Chris Middleton is out with a pulled left bicep. So a couple of rookies getting the start for the Bucks, including this man right here, Judah Mintz, the second-round pick out of Syracuse, getting the nod at the point guard position, and he will knock down both of his free throws. We got a 7-6 game here now for the Clippers. Kawhi Leonard will bring it up the court, gets a screen from Zubac, tries to drive inside, lobs it up in the air, but that's not on the same page, as that one instead just turns it right over to the Bucks, who turn it right back over again. So George now with the steal. He's going to go the other way, and he steps out of bounds. So a very interesting possession for both squads there, as you can take a look at where we stand in the power rankings. 20th in the NBA, as we'll probably go down this week after losing our first 2 to begin. 2 minutes gone by in this game, as here's Giannis at the top of the floor being guarded by Leonard. Talked about he'll draw Kawhi for most of this matchup. Both players starting at the 4. As Giannis draws a double, kicks it over in the corner for 3, and it's knocked down. Pat Connaughton, the NBA champion, a part of that Milwaukee Bucks squad that won the title 4 years ago. He's one of the few pieces that are still out here in Milwaukee. The Bucks try to get back to the promised land on the other end. George now can't connect on the same page as Zubac. So far, the alley-oop not working. As on the other end, Connaughton pulls up for the mid-range, but he's off the mark. Rebounded by James Harden. He's yet to attempt a shot so far today, as he tries to drive inside, kicks it back out to George. He'll bring it back out himself. Now tries to take isolation. George drives right side, now trying to back his man down. 5 seconds to go, spins off of him and finishes at the basket. A quick 7 points for Paul George in the early parts of this ball game, as George has been a very welcome addition back to the squad this year. Missed almost all of last season with that dislocated left patella. He's been a very solid option for us, one of our best scoring options, as there's a good scoring look for the Bucks that's off the mark. Rebounded by the Clippers on the other end. Here's Harden, thought about taking the 3 instead. Going to bring it back a little bit. Reset the offense here. Trying to drive on his man. Now kicks it to George in the post. Paul George backing his man down again. Gets good positioning, but a little too strong with the right hand. Rebounded by Milwaukee as we still sit at 9 apiece. As Mintz gets inside and finishes at the basket. A nice move by Judah Mintz. Gets his first bucket of the night. And the Bucks now take an 11-9 lead. On the other end, James Harden sizing up his man. Kicks over to George now. Back to Harden. Back to George. Off-ball screen for Harden. He gets it. Gets a look. Gets his man airborne. Pump fakes and then shoots the three. His first field goal of the night is no good. He's rebounded now by Milwaukee. Giannis with a clear path to the basket, and that's never a good thing, as he will finish it at the rack. Giannis now has 6 points on the early portion of tonight. He's getting himself started right away. Now here's Leonard in the post, trying to back down Giannis. Not sure if that's the matchup I turn to. As Leonard, though, spins off of Antetokounmpo and hits the nice fadeaway shot. Kawhi Leonard doesn't care. Beautiful move he put on the Greek Freak there. And it's the claw. He gets the better of that exchange. Giannis, though, not wasting any time. Trying to isolate Leonard completely on the end. These two superstars going up against each other. And this time it's Giannis who gets it. Beautiful spin move. Goes to the left. Spins to the right. Puts it up and in. Averaging 24 points per game this year while on the road. As now George tries to take his man isolation. He gets to the rack and will get an and a one. We'll go to the end of the first quarter where it is a 29-26 lead here for the Milwaukee Bucks, as both these teams continue to trade shots here in the early portion of this game. We go into the second quarter now. The Bucks have extended their lead now to 10. The Clippers have gotten off to a very slow start here in the second quarter. It's been all Milwaukee. As Harden takes a three and he drills it. So that's the shot that you need, though. Cuts it to a 7-point game. As it's about 8 minutes into this quarter. And before that shot, the Clippers had only scored 10 points in the frame. Off the screen, Connaughton trying to answer right back for three, and he hits nothing with the bottom of the net. Milwaukee answers right back, and they push it back to a 10-point lead. With about 4.5 to go here in the first half. The Clippers struggling here. They need to get something going. Harden's going to take another three. This time he can't connect. That's been one of the Achilles heels of the Clippers this season. Their three-point shooting has not been ideal. It's not been a strong part of this team, as there's a miss from 3 points. As you can see, Harden's stats a second ago, only 3 of 13 shooting tonight. Highland on the other end tries to drive into traffic, and he loses the ball. Ends up in the hands of Mintz, who's putting together a pretty solid performance. Hernan Godin's now the top over to Steven Castle. Castle now has it with Harden in front of him. Here comes the screen from Hernan Gomez. Drives right side on Harden. Spins. Gets contact. No foul. It's rebounded by James Harden. He'll bring it up himself. Pushing the pace. Highland. Long two. No, not able to go. The shot's not falling here in the second quarter. The Bucks with a 10-point lead. Trying to make it some more now. A screen right side. Leonard in defense. Sags off a little bit, and they can't hit the three-pointer. Rebounded by the claw. He'll bring it up himself. And tries to get it into Harden, but Mintz right there in the passing lane. That's another steal. Connaughton in the corner for three. He knocks it down. Now a 13-point lead here for the Bucks. Clippers have been a little too careless with the basketball here in the first half, whether it's been the failed alley-oops or just the interceptions. They have turned the ball over an uncharacteristic amount tonight. As here's Leonard off of the screen, lobs it up, and again they can't connect on the alley-oop. This time Zubats was there, just couldn't throw it down. And on the other end, Mintz drills a three-ball. Judah Mintz, how about the rookie? 6 points in the first quarter. He now hits a triple here in the second. 9 points for the former Syracuse Orange. And the Bucks now with a 16-point advantage on the road here. Harden for three. He can't knock it down, and the fans getting a little restless here. Clippers shot 40% in the loss against Golden State, and their numbers are looking very similar tonight. 17 turnovers in that one. We're about on pace for that number tonight. Off the screen, Mintz again from three. Oh, this time can't connect. Rebounded by Highland. He finds Leonard left side. He fires a three. He can't hit. So the three's just not dropping for the Clip squad. Lucky this is only a 16-point deficit. So here's Castle taking a long two, and he can't get it to drop either. Not a good shooting performance for both squads, but the Clippers, it's been over 3 minutes since they've scored a point. Can't even get a free throw or nothing. Harden dribbles it left side, gets a screen, has Portis in front of him. He pulls from the mid-range, and again he can't connect. Not even a three-pointer. A mid-range won't even go. He's 3 for 9 on the night, only 7 points for the Beard. Now Mintz has it, kicks it into Portis on the post. Being guarded by Love, goes up the right hand, a little short, gets his rebound though, finds Castle for 3, and he drills it. And the Clippers have no choice but to call timeout, and we'll go to the end of the first half where the Clippers steady the ship a little bit, but trail by 13 going into the break. It was an abysmal second quarter for the Clippers, only 19 points in that frame. They're shooting 40% on the night. Giannis leads all scorers tonight with 18 points after the Milwaukee Bucks have built themselves a 13-point advantage. We'll go into the second half here in this nationally televised game. We'll see if the Clippers can get back into this one. We'll see what adjustments they made. You can see the players on the floor. It's Bones Highland, James Harden, Ivica Zubac, Paul George, and Kawhi Leonard. That's been the starting 5 the Clippers have gone with in recent times. As George gets a screen left side, pulls from the mid-range and knocks it down. That's a good start. Paul George gets a shot. He started very hot in this game. Sat for most of the second quarter, so couldn't continue that production. Looking to get back, though, on track. Giannis now dribbling at the top of the key. Finds a wide open Mintz off screen. Pulls from the mid-range, and he knocks it down. That's a double figures for the second-round rookie. Putting on a career night tonight, showing that he deserves more minutes in this Bucks rotation. On the other end, Highland finds George. Gets a screen now from Bones. He's going to pull from 3, and it's going to spin in and out. It's just been that kind of night. Three-pointers not dropping as the Bucks now push it quickly to the other side. Castle pump fakes, hands it off for Giannis. Leonard on him. But Giannis sizes him up and gets to the basket. Just so long. Such a freak. The Greek Freak with 20 on the night. He was last month's Eastern Conference Player of the Month. He's continued that momentum here into the month of January to begin 2025. But here's George getting to the basket. He does what he does best, and that's find a way to get to the rim. He's got 18 points tonight, only 6 for 15. Hasn't been the most efficient night. He does lead all Clippers in points. 13-point deficit still, as here's Harden. Nice defense on Castle. He gives it up for Giannis. Off screen, here's Connaughton. Catch and fire 3, and it hits the bottom of the net. Bucks have made 5 more three-pointers than the Clippers. That's usually a stat that flashes across the bottom of the screen. The Clippers rarely out-hit three-pointers against their teammates. That's probably the reason why they lose some of these games. George has a path to the basket, draws in Giannis, tries to find Leonard, but a bad pass. Kawhi can't hold on to it. Finds George, top of the key. 5 seconds to go here on the shot clock. Tries to drive on Connaughton and can't get the left hand to go. The defense by the Bucks, a 16-point lead for Milwaukee as Mintz gets inside. He makes it 18. The floater good for the rookie off of the assist from Connaughton. And it's an 18-point lead, the largest of the night for the Milwaukee Bucks. This one's starting to get away and turn into a blowout. Highland falls from 3, and he somehow gets that one to go. That's not the shot you want to take. But Bones hits a much-needed three-pointer. It's now a 15-point game. On the other end, Giannis just drives right to the rack, draws his size, and has to force the foul from Leonard. Kawhi's had his handfuls tonight. Kawhi's one of the best defensive players in the league. The 2-time NBA MVP, just too much. First free throw was good. The second one is up and it rattles out. So at least we get the 1 for 2. It's a 16-point game. Off the rebound, George tries to drive inside. Kicks over to Highland in the corner. Step back. Three-pointer. No, a little strong. Rebounded by the Bucks. Highland 7 points on the night. Only 2 for 7 shooting for the point guard. Shooting's just been lackluster here tonight. As Mintz gets by Leonard. Pulls from the free throw line. Can't connect. Rebounded by the Clippers as Harden will push the pace now. He's met by Castle. Harden will kick it over to Highland. Bones now with it right side. As here comes Leonard off of the screen. Wide open catch and shoot 3, and he connects. So Kawhi Leonard from downtown. He had 8 points in the first half. Now a 13-point lead here for Milwaukee as the Clippers try to keep pace here in this one. Mintz gets to the basket, can't connect. Good defense there by Highland. He'll bring it up himself. Nice move there. Tries to collapse the defense, finds a cutting Zubats, who finishes at the basket. Nice possession there by the Clippers. And Zubats is the perfect 4 for 4 on the night with 8 points. Mid screen right side. Highland fights through it. Now taking his man isolation in the paint. What a move there by Mintz. Highland was completely fooled by those handles, and I keep saying it, but the second round rookie just getting the start because Drew Holiday is hurt. It's paid off in spades for him. Making the most of his minutes. And now here's Harden trying to work. Kicks into the paint. Leonard guarded by Giannis. Faces him up. Backs him down again. Tried to find a cutting Harden, but he gets tipped. Giannis with the deflection. And now the Bucks are in full team takeover mode. In the corner is Connaughton. Being guarded by George. They're trying to find the Greek Freak in the post. He has Harden guarding him. This is the mismatch you want. Uses his size. Kicks it back out, though, thanks to the help defense. And we dodge a bullet there. That one was in and out. On the other end, George inside. That's not a good shot. Can't connect on the offset shot. So on the other end, Mintz gets inside. Collapses the defense. Gets fouled. We'll go to the end of the quarter where the Clippers have made it a 9-point deficit. They're trying to hang tight in this one. It's 80-71. We'll go halfway into the fourth quarter. Still a 9-point game. Paul George now with the basketball. The Clippers trying to hang tight. They're not going down without a fight. George tries to log it up for Zubats. That has not worked all night. They cannot get on the same page with the alley-oop, and it's led to countless turnovers, and then there's a blocking foul on Highland as Connaughton tried to cross him up and ran into him. Ball will stay on this side of the court. 5 minutes left to go in this game. So here's Giannis being guarded by Leonard. Back to Mintz at the top of the key. He's had a career night. He's gonna just set. 9 seconds to go on the shot clock. Kicks it to Giannis in the post. Has positioning on Leonard. Gets underneath the basket, and Leonard has no choice but to foul Giannis. The size is just too much, even for Kawhi Leonard. That's why Antetokounmpo is one of the most unguardable players in the league. He hits the first free throw, and the second one is also up and in. And it's now an 11-point game. Double digits once again. You're running out of time. Less than 5 minutes to go here for the Clippers. Island screen right side. He's just going to pull an off-balance three. That's off the mark. You got to be smart with your possessions, though. Yes, you're down by 11, but there's still time. You don't got to heave up these off-balance shots. Connaughton being guarded by Zubats. Gets inside. Too strong off the glass. Good defense by the center. Leonard with the rebound. Will try to push the pace, but Giannis there to meet him. Greek Freak has definitely won that matchup tonight. As now George heads up left side. He's being guarded by Mintz. We're trying to take advantage of the size as Jordan with the back to the basket. Here comes the help. Bucks, though, great job at moving the defense over, and it leads to a short shot from Leonard. He does get his own rebound, though. Kicks out to Harden. He tries to drive inside, but great defense by Castle. Forces a right hook that's off the mark. Stephen Castle with a very good game. The number 5 overall pick out of UConn. Originally drafted by the Memphis Grizzlies. He was a part of that trade that sent Desmond Bane to the Spurs, as there he is finishing at the basket. 19 points for him. He came over to the Milwaukee Bucks early on in the season in that trade that sent Brook Lopez to Memphis. He's been a great addition for Milwaukee. They definitely won that trade. Less than 4 to go here. George now with it at the top of the key. You just tell these Clippers are just kind of running out of gas. George can't even get by Connaughton, a man he would usually blow by. Tries to finish to the basket, he does, so that's a nice move by PG-13. But it just seems like these Clippers are just running out of gas. The stamina a little short in the tank. Down by 11 now with about 3 minutes to go as Mintz trying to do some dribble moves inside. Kicks it out to Castle, and he runs into James Harden, who will get called for a blocking foul. I would have thought that would have been a charge maybe, but instead it'll stay on this side of the court. Here's Antetokounmpo off the inbounds pass. Back over to Pat. Now top of the key, being guarded by Leonard. 11-point game. Giannis gets the basket and scores. And we'll just go ahead and go to the end of this one. The Bucks clearly out in front. They win this game 108-91. The Clippers run out of gas here. Don't even crack 100. And fall by 17 to the Milwaukee Bucks. That's their 5th loss in the past 6 games. And they fall to 18-23. Not a good streak here for the Clippers. Ever since they went on the road, they have not been the same. They were dominating before that. Winners of 7 of the last 9. And ever since they went to the Eastern Conference, they've only won 1 and lost 5. Not ideal, as the Bucks only had 6 players score baskets, and one of those was Livingston with 2. So not an overall team effort, but enough to get the victory. There is a trade. The Knicks trade Dylan Brooks and a protected 3rd-round pick. It doesn't say for who, but Brooks is going to the Philadelphia 76ers for Norman Powell, a former face who was a part of that Harden trade. He's now a Knickerbocker. Here are your players of the week. Darius Garland gets the nod for the Cavaliers. Good for him, his first of the season, while Jokic gets his 3rd Western Conference Player of the Week. We get a trade offer for the next game. Ivica Zubac to the Kings for Maxi Kleber, and this is a trade that intrigued me a lot. Kleber's a very cheap kind of big man that I wouldn't mind adding to the rotation, considering he is on the trade block. And I thought about doing this trade, but I feel like I don't want to give up on Zubac yet. Yes, I'm very critical on his defensive play, but I do think he is by far the better player. So if we want to make a run at the playoffs, I think we got to hold on to Zubac. But I do not want to give up on Kleber yet. We didn't lose to the Magic at home 90-77. We only put up 8 points in the 3rd quarter. Yes, it was only a 7-man rotation, but that's not very good. Another trade goes down as the Cavaliers acquire one of their arch nemesis in Harrison Barnes from the Kings. And they send Karis LeVert back in return, as well as swap 2nd-round picks. We didn't lose at the Suns by 1 point, 114-113. So we've lost now 5 straight and 7 of our past 8. It brings us to 18-25. Our next episode, we will face the 500 Houston Rockets, a team that I've been wanting to play this year because this is a team that has done a lot. They were supposed to have the #1 pick. They could have had Ron Holland, but instead they traded him to Chicago for Zach LaVine and Jeremy Grant. So this is a team obviously trying to win now. We'll see how they look in the next episode. But thank you guys so much for watching this one. Hopefully our Clippers can get out of this funk, and you don't want to miss the next episode tomorrow night. Team reveal for MLB The Show 24. This will be a very exciting time for the series, for the channel. Hope you guys are ready for it. If you are, make sure you drop that like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more basketball content. This is Mr. Rob, and I'll see you in the next one.